have heard the term ergonomics. Some of you may even be convinced of its value. But how many of you have actually taken steps to set up an ergonomically correct workspace, either at home or at your office, or both? I'm sure most of you have a desk, chair, desktop, or laptop computer, monitor, and of course, a keyboard. And most of you probably sit at this desk when typing on your computer, and you should. But if your monitor isn't properly positioned, or your desk is too high or too low, you could be unknowingly subjecting your body to unnecessary tension in your joints and muscles. What's more, this tension isn't just in your hands and arms, as you might think. It can affect your entire body. If allowed to continue, the tension could trigger stress, headaches, body aches and pain, eye strain, fatigue, poor circulation, RSI, and other health issues. Unfortunately, these health issues will continue until you do something to make them stop. That something is ergonomics. Ergonomics is actually a science that involves creating workspace conditions that reduce a worker's risk of developing health problems like the ones I just mentioned. Anyone who types for a long period of time, whether for work or for pleasure, could be at increased risk for these kinds of problems. The risk level varies depending upon an individual's intensity of repetitive exertions, their duration, and the amount of exposure to those exertions. Creating an ergonomically correct workspace can lower that risk, but that's not all. It can also increase comfort. When it comes to ergonomics for computer users, many factors are involved. I already mentioned common components like a computer desk, computer monitor, and chair. However, when thinking about ergonomics, it's also important to consider your mouse, the height and position of your keyboard and monitor, ambient lighting, glare, document holders, and even leg and foot support. When all of these components are set up just right, you can lower your risk of injury, strain, fatigue, and tension. Before designing an ergonomical workspace, remember that there isn't any one-size-fits-all guideline. Every computer user is different, both physically and in how each uses his or her computer. That means workspace ergonomics is really more about achieving certain goals. For example, you can reduce neck tension by ensuring your elbows are properly supported. Here, proper elbow support is the goal. Making adjustments to your chair's height until your elbows are properly supported is one way to achieve that goal. After I outline some other goals, I'll offer additional tips for configuring your computer-related components to help achieve those goals. But before I begin, you should know that I am not a doctor, nor do I have any medical training. If you experience musculoskeletal pain and discomfort now, or while completing the Ultimate Typing course, you may need to seek professional help. Only someone with the proper training can accurately diagnose the source of your pain or discomfort and recommend a treatment plan that may or may not include ergonomics. Okay, now let's continue the discussion of ergonomics goals. Number 1, to avoid headaches, your head should be held upright, not tilted forward or backward, because a tilted head can create strain. Number 2, aim for relaxed shoulders and arms that hang naturally at your sides. Number 3, never let your elbows flare out. Keep them bent at right angles, or up to 120 degrees, and close to your body. Number 4, don't over-exaggerate the curve in your fingers. Keep it natural. Number 5, always strive to keep your wrists flat. Number 6, keep thighs and hips parallel to the floor and well supported. Number 7, keep your feet uncrossed and flat against the floor. If that sounds like a lot to remember, try creating a mental image of yourself seated at your computer workspace to help remember. Basically, When all of the body parts I just mentioned are in proper alignment, your body should form two letter L's. Looking at an imaginary cross-section of your seated body, draw an imaginary line from your erect head down to your elbows, and then another line from your elbows extended outwards to your wrists. The line from head to elbow and from elbow to wrist forms the first letter L. The second letter L is actually drawn upside down. This other L is formed by drawing an imaginary line from your buttocks straight out to your knees, and then from your knees down to your heel. See the upside down letter L? Another imaginary straight line drawn from your heel to toe ensures your feet are flat on the floor.